Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Calvalos here, and today we are going to be continuing our playthrough of Riot Games. So as usual, if you guys are going to enjoy it, consider liking this video as well as subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate your support here, but most importantly, it is so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads of single player playthroughs or content just like this one. And with that being said, let's get this episode started. So here we are in the game. We are currently, I believe, in the slums market area, having just completed Misfortune's level 3 ultimate in the previous episode, of course, which involved this bloke over here, which was apparently Bilgewater's blacksmith. So surprise. Okay, more about that in the previous episode if you're having trouble finding Misfortune's ultimate, because Alawi's ultimate is what we're gonna set about solving today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head to this area called Baron's Rest, because if I just show you the map real quick, just a quick little recap for those of you just joining us, of course, the idol, which is of course Alawi's level 3 ultimate, is found in Baron's Rest. So Baron's Rest is technically down the road. It's just down this elevator here, and as well as into you'll see a building eventually on your on Misfortune's right hand side, I think on the left hand side of the screen. Okay, so yeah, Baron's Rest is this building right here. So let's go ahead and just take the elevator down and see where this takes us. Who am I kidding? I know where this takes us because we've already been here before. Because we've used, I think we passed by this stretch using Braum and Alawi on the way to Misfortune's estate the first time around. But one thing for certain is that we have not been inside Baron's Rest. So let's go ahead and head in. This looks like the building. Looks like a very big building as well, and lots of teeth. Okay, let's just go ahead and head in and see what happens. Okay, here we are. So, Shady Bar, Baron's Rest. Okay, let's check out the map first. This looks like some sort of tavern, if I will. Tavern inn? I'm not really sure. B&B. We'll go with a B&B. What's a B&B called? Bed and breakfast, I believe. Never been to too many B&Bs myself, so I don't really know, but I know the term. Okay. Basically, what we need to do here is, like I said, we need to go ahead and set about completing Alawi's quest. The problem is that this is not very direct. I have not seen this part. I know I said in the previous episode that I know a little bit more now about what we need to do in Bilgewater, but ironically, this does not involve Baron's Rest. That's because I mainly was on the lookout for Misfortune's ultimate, the blacksmith, so I did not do any research on this part. So basically, I'm doing this one blind. Baron's Rest. Okay, let me just read what the text says again. Maybe we could get an idea. An island of Nagakaboros, once offered to the sea, has been sacrilegiously returned to land. By retrieving the idol and returning it to the goddess, Alawi will harness more of a blessing. Okay. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. I know for a fact that this is Baron's Rest because, sorry, if I go to the quest log again and if I go to Alawi's quest again, my apologies, I probably should have done that on the fly, but it's okay. If we go ahead and jump the district map, it is going to bring us to Baron's Rest, so not really straightforward. We're going to have to see what we have to do here. Okay, let's take a look and see at the map. We have some place called the Crucible this side. We have an area called Grifter's Corner, and looks like we have a second floor as well as a first floor. So I believe this is the ground floor that we're about to head into. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Let's drop a scan first. We have a lot of interactable NPCs. I think we have to speak to them. Maybe we could get some clues on where to get Alawi's quest. In that case, we are just gonna go ahead and interact with them one by one. One of them has flagged us over here with a dialogue, so let's go ahead and just interact with him first. A man waves you over. There is something about him that doesn't quite fit in with Bilgewater, but whatever it is, it's subtle. It is you. I've heard a great deal about you, he says. You cleanse Grey Harbor. Whenever dark forces encroach, it is our duty to stop it. It ruins the land. The land would thank you if you could hear it. I know much about you, but you know nothing about me. I am Mirim. I have traveled here from Ionia. It's been a long, tiresome journey, he says. I'm unsure how quickly word travels through these parts, but recently there was a ship headed to Ionia that encountered a kind of storm, as it were, and sunk. Our story would end here if the cargo was still resting at the bottom of the sea, he says. There was a group from Bilgewater that was commissioned to retrieve the cargo from the depths. There's these so-called salvage runners were able to recover the cargo and have stored it nearby. It is very important that the cargo never reaches Ionia, he says, with a suddenly serious tone. I know you must have many questions. I'm sorry for being so direct, and maybe I'm misguided in thinking this, but I feel as if I can trust you. But before I say more, I need to know, will you help me? Okay, by the looks of it, by the last sentence, if we reject him, he might not be able to tell us what, more. So I think in that sense, we're just gonna agree with him for now. My humblest appreciation for your assistance, he says, and gently presses his hands together and nods almost like a bow. Very typical of Ionia, I would say. We've learned that the cargo is being held in a small warehouse near the market, hiding in plain sight. I've duplicated a key I've lifted from one of the guards there, he says. There will be many sets of containers, but you'll know the ones you're after because they have Noxian military markings on them. Yes, we are trying to stop Noxus from delivering a shipment to an Ionian outpost. Interesting. Could this outpost be Phalor, which, to my knowledge, is a Noxian-controlled fort on a island near the mainland of Ionia? More on that later. I might even just show you the map here on your screen right now of of the map of Ionia, and as well as the Noxian-controlled regions in red. But yeah, you could indulge yourself in that while we continue with this dialogue. Okay, let's hit continue. Take this, it is a Blossom Jewel. All you have to do is hold it up to the containers from Noxus and it will nullify any weaponized alchemical agents within. Also very interesting. Simple as that, then quickly return here to let me know it has been done. Alchemical agents from Noxus, huh? This sounds strangely, not strangely, this sounds extremely familiar to Singed. Some of you might know Singed via Arcane, the of course the Netflix series, which was received a lot of hype. But primarily, I knew Singed before that when he was in part of the Noxian lore, where apparently he was contracted by by the then Emperor of Noxus, Boram Darkwill, in the first campaign of Ionia, and I believe he weaponized some chemical agents and stuff, and there was a lot of some terrible aftermath in Ionia because of this. So yeah, it's very interesting. I highly recommend you check it out. But for now, we are just gonna hit continue. Okay, neutralize the cargo. So, I expect the salvage runners to keep guard at the warehouse, so be prepared for a confrontation. Regrettably, I would only get in the way of champions such as yourselves, though I only expect the best of outcomes for you, he says. Okay, we can ask him a lot of questions. Let's ask him some of the questions first. I will definitely go ahead and take a look at this, but I would like to try to solve Alawi's quest first. That is my priority. This doesn't look like anything to do with Alawi, to be honest, but yeah, let's ask him a couple of questions and see what he knows. Just who are you? The question really is, who from Ionia would know about tracking shipments from Noxus? It's safe to say that I am a freedom fighter hoping to keep Ionia safe, but more than that, it is unnecessary to divulge. I hope you understand. I'm afraid not, buddy. I am afraid I do not. But we're not gonna press too further on that. Let's ask him something else. So let's ask him about this. Noxus. I thought their war with Ionia ended. That is to my knowledge as well, but maybe I could be wrong. It's true the war ended over a decade ago, but the Noxus presence still lingers on the outskirts of Ionia. Nothing is for certain, but there are groups that have watchful eyes about their continued presence, he says. That is all that needs to be said. What did you mean by a... Oh no, that's the other question. Okay. This is also very interesting. I think this screws up the timeline a bit. I'm not really good with the chronological order of Runeterra here, but if I'm not mistaken, the war on the Ionian shores with Noxus was quite some time ago. That's because Boram Darkwill is dead. Swain is the new leader of Noxus. Well, he's not the new leader, but he's one of the new leaders in Noxus, and I think that was quite some time ago because Swain is relatively old now. He's, I think, in his late 50s, or he's around that age. He's around the ballpark. And I believe when the war with Ionia took place, Swain was a young lad. He was a young man. I think he was he was just a mere general of some sort. So I'm not really sure. Well, maybe it is true because he did mention it could be over a decade ago, but to my understanding of English, I think over a decade ago means like roughly, I don't know, 15 years ago, like not too long. But, I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna get too technical about it. That's just my understanding of things. I could be wrong, so do correct me in the comment section down below. Okay, let's carry on with the other questions. What did you mean by a kind of storm sunk the ship? Well, let's just say that a very isolated storm appeared suddenly and from nowhere and tore their sails in a matter of moments, he says, stifling a smile as if remembering that moment. It was satisfying, okay? How does the Blossom Jewel work, which was of course the item that he gave us to identify the cargo? With some alchemical magic, he says, with a clever smile, Noxian chemical agents are very dangerous, but with some simple alchemy, we are able to quickly convert them to harmless elements. The Blossom Jewel's energy does exactly that. Okay, this is also very true because Noxian chemical agents, to my understanding, if I am right, this should be actually Zonite chemical agents, courtesy of Singe. And if it is, the one and the same, the chemical agents are extremely dangerous because we've saw that I think in Yasuo's story with Riven there from the Broken Blade. There was a little bit of touching on that, and I believe there was a little bit of some comics as well from one of Noxus's most recognizable champions. One of, I would say, Noxus has a lot of recognizable champions in my opinion because I'm a Noxus fan. But in terms of Riven, some comic, there was a little bit of mention about how the Zonite chemical agents that she helped bring into Ionia actually left a terrible scar on the Ionian landscape. So I'm not surprised here. And it is also very interesting that he mentions that with simple alchemy, we're able to quickly convert them to harmless elements. That is because Ionia is the land of magic, and there was a lot of mention that Ionia's land is actually Ionia's nature, bias philosophy here actually helped nullify some of these harmful and detrimental effects of the chemical agents. So very interesting to see that this was actually brought into the game here. So very nice piece of information here. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. How come you're not dressed as an Ionian? He laughs. Are you serious? Well, I'll humor you either way. I think I look less suspicious wearing this. That's a fair point. That was probably a stupid question as well. How do you like Bilgewater? Bilgewater is worse than I thought it'd be. There's no connection to the land, there's no harmony, it's just a city full of base animal instincts fighting for survival. Why would anyone willingly live here, he says, and shrugs his shoulders. Well, I think if you're born here, you don't really have a choice, unless you have enough money or something to leave, so, that's my 2 cents on it. Okay, let's go ahead and just leave him to his thoughts. Oh, and don't forget these. Warehouse key as well as the Blossom Jewel. Cool. It will feel good to prevent bloodshed instead of causing it, says Yasuo. And I kinda agree with you. Okay, so that doesn't really answer any questions on Alawi's quest. Let's go ahead and interact with the other NPCs here. Since we're on this side, let's go ahead and interact with everyone here. Let's check in with this big fellow here. If we can click on him, of course. Can we click on him? There we go. Was an old fella around these parts a while back, liked to tell stories. What was his name? Lord. Oh yeah, there was it. Lars. Interesting. Lord and Lars. That is some jumble up of letters that you would not expect. He looks like a regular NPC, however, so I think we're just gonna leave him be. Let's check in with this Yordle over here that is charismatically telling something on the table here. Oh, my house is made of sticks and my boots is made of stone. That seems like a painful house to live in, as well as a painful piece of footwear to step in. Okay, so I think we'll leave him be for now. He looks like another generic NPC. Yeah, nothing here. So I think we'll just go ahead and interact with this fellow here. Okay. Okay, looks like a dialogue that might warrant some side quests. Let's check in with this. A woman sits at the table staring into her drink. In her hand, she slowly turns a coin, which she immediately puts down and covers with her palm when she sees you approach. Hi there, she says. She stammers, I would say. Tell me about yourself, let's ask her. Me? I'm just a passerby. My brother used to frequent this place. I thought I'd see what all the fuss was about it. It has a nice atmosphere, she says, unconvincingly. Okay, let's ask her what's the matter then. She seems a bit saddened by the tone of the dialogue. Oh, excuse me, she laughs. I have a bit of a silly favor to ask. Past the door behind me at the end of the hall, there's a man guarding a door. And I'm curious to know what's behind the door, or if there's a symbol on it. I'm so sorry, I know it sounds so silly, it is silly, but could you take a look at it for me? Let's ask her why can't she do that herself? Why can't you look yourself? I tried and her voice gets weak. She clears her throat and collects herself. I tried to get close to make out what was behind the doorman, but he just shoved me away. I'm in no shape to talk to him. Okay, sure, let's tell her we can do that. Let's tell her, let's agree. Okay, she smiles. Thank you kindly, stranger. I thought I saw a symbol on the door, but I couldn't make it out. Hopefully you don't have to ask the doorman to move. Alright, so we have the means to head to this side, to this area of Baron's Rest, which is called the Crucible. I think we'll leave that for now. Let's just go ahead and investigate this entire area first. We're about 15 minutes in, but it's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and take the time to explore this entire area. If we do not get Alawi's ultimate in this episode, it's alright. I promise you I will get it sooner or later, maybe in the consequent episodes. So, let's go ahead and just take a look and see about this other side, because we've already checked in with all the other people there. Let's check in with this lady here first and see what she has to say. Okay, looks like a prompted dialogue. A woman smartly dressed looks out of place compared to her surroundings. Her food has been barely touched. I've been watching you since you walked in, she says. There's something about you I can't quite put my finger on, and that might be what I'm looking for. Okay, let's ask her who she is. Forgive me, my manners. Perhaps I've been in Bilgewater for too long already. That sounds like kind of a dick, and you're speaking to misfortune there. I don't think she'll take too kindly to that. I'm Renee. She nods her head politely. Okay, let's ask her where is she from. Demacia. I admit I did not think to dress for my surroundings when I left for my trip. I hope that's not too off-putting as I have an urgent matter I wish to confide. Okay, this is very interesting. This is the first mention of Demacia, which is also another very cool region in Runeterra in my book. And I should have seen it because, you know, she is dressed in white. But yeah, we'll see how does that work out for her. Let's ask her what is she looking for. An equitable and mutually beneficial resolution to a problem of mine, she says. But these surroundings are no place to discuss such a delicate subject. I suggest we adjourn to elsewhere more private. The hallway in the back had a secluded seating area. Shall I expect to see you there? Very eloquent in her choice of words, so, you know, pretty much telltale that she is from Demacia. Okay, let's tell her that we need to know more before agreeing to anything. Your curiosity is understandable and even expected, but unfortunately, for reasons that will become apparent later, I cannot get into details out here. We must speak in private, she implores. You have my assurance that it is nothing sinister. Okay, we will hold your word to it, lady, and we will accept. Excellent, I will head that way now. Okay, so looks like that's about it. So she is headed somewhere towards the second level. I'm not sure where, there is no stars, so I think we might have to check it out. By the looks of it, it might be this side because, you know, the cutscene that we saw earlier saw her moving this way. So we'll leave that for later. Let's go ahead and check in with the other two people here. Hopefully we can find more about Alawi's side quests here, because by the looks of things, it looks very bleak at the moment. Let's see what this guy says. One time when I was but a child, a balloon I was holding slipped through my fingers. I watched it go up far into the sky, and I knew that I'd never see it again, ever. It was the first time that I felt that I could lose something and the world wouldn't give it back to me. Oh, sounds kinda sad. Okay, let's check in with this big fellow over here. Gangplank was a special type of monster. He turned sailors into beasts, criminals, and killers. I missed that second dialogue there. I was probably too slow about that. My apologies. No quarter given, no less spared. Every person looking over their shoulder. That was Gangplank's sound. Okay, so that's a little bit of a description into the insight of how Bilgewater was before misfortune took over, which seems kinda concerning, kinda lawless, but if anything is to go by, Bilgewater is still a very lawless place. Okay, let's go ahead and see what other stuff that what we can get from the other NPCs here. We have, looks like some sort of vendor, I would say, by the looks of the coins here. This is Baron's Rest, finest tavern. This side of Slaughter Docks, we got rooms, drinks, and entertainment. Everything a sailor could want and a little more, she says. Let's not buy anything, let's not sell anything, let's chat with her, because I mainly want to see what we can get from, I want to get some clues to Alawi's side quest here. Ain't gonna be my first harrowing, and I bet it won't be the last. Bilgewater's never been safe, so no use turning tail now. And hey, someone's gotta stay open during all this craziness, might as well be me. I don't think we're gonna get any input from her, from him. I'm not really sure if this is a guy or a girl, but we'll leave that. Let's check in with this big fellow over here. Another vendor, Baron's Rest Tavern, accommodations for the accommodating. What a tongue twister there. Rest 230 gold, choose party members, let's chat. Never mind, let's tell him we'll chat, see if we can get any input on Alawi's quest. Okay, no, so the let's chat option actually brings up the conversations menu, which is not gonna do us any good. Alright, in that case, we'll leave that for now. We have a little time left over, so I think what I'd like to do is we'll check out the first floor since it's technically part of this dungeon. So let's go ahead and just check it out. Excuse me, what's in this dish you brought me? It's mariner stew, like you ordered. Like I ordered, huh? This has shellfish in it. I said no shellfish. Get this out of my sight. Yes, sir. Bring me something good from the kitchen. How can he be so rude? Okay. This lady's gonna glitch out a little bit, but looks like we have a Karen over here. Okay, so I know we are, I know I said I would like to go ahead and explore this place, but we're actually running out of time. We're about 18 minutes in. Okay, I tell you what, this is what we'll do. Since this is in theory could be set another part of Baron's Rest, because this is the first floor. I know it's technically still part of Baron's Rest, but just on the fact that it's a different level, and at the same time we're also running out of time, I think I'd like to end the video here for now before things get too deep. Unfortunately, we did not find any clues for Alawi's ultimate, which is so unfortunate, but don't worry, I will promise you that we'll get this one done. If not in this episode, or if not in the next one, in the consequent episodes that are to come, we will definitely go ahead and get Alawi's ultimate done, and I will definitely show you guys how to do it. So for now, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the video here. I think it's in the best interest for everyone. So if you guys enjoyed this episode of Arcane, consider liking this video as well as subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate your support here, but most importantly, it is so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads of single player playthroughs or content just like this one. And with that being said, this is Kevlo signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I catch you all in the next episode as well. Goodbye.